Pre-trip inspection. I seen a lot of videos on the internet, but I never really seen anyone tell you how to pass your pre-trip inspection off the top of the head. Now I'm gonna tell you how to pass a pre-trip inspection off the top of the head. First, you're gonna say, "I'm building air pressure to the governor cutoff between." Keyword is between 120 and 140 psi. Then you're gonna say, "I'm gonna fully depress the brakes until the gauge is stabilized. I'm gonna make sure that I don't lose more than 4 psi in 1 minute while listening for air leaks. I'm gonna pump the brakes until the buzzer comes on at or before 55 psi. The warning light and buzzer come on at or before 55 psi. We're gonna pump the brakes until the tractor protection valve and the park brake valve comes on. Pop out between 45 and 20 psi. You know what I'm saying? That's the pass for your in cab. Then after after the first step of the governor cutting off, you turn the truck back on to build air pressure. And while it's on building air pressure, you go outside of the truck to unchalk the wheels. And you get back in the truck. Now you can do your safety equipment. Now your safety equipment is your fire extinguisher, your triangles and your fuses, and your mirrors and your cameras. So you can say my uh, fire extinguisher is properly mounted and secured, fully charged. My 3 safety triangles is underneath the bunk. My fuses are in the glove box. Then you go to your windshield. My windshield is properly mounted and secured, not cracked or broken, and your camera, in-cab camera, is properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, and clean. My uh, 4-way flashers and my 5x5s, like indicators, are working properly and you demonstrate. Then you go to your rear view and your hood mirrors. They're properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken on both sides. And make sure you say it on the inside and out when you get outside. Then you could do your city horn and your air horn. You know, they're working properly. You could go to your wiper blades. They're properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, not dry rotted, and demonstrate that they're working properly by spraying the fluid out of them. Make sure you do that to the examiner, and you could also do your defroster in the heat. Make sure you blast it and put your hand on the top and bottom, making sure that they work, showing the examiner that they are working properly. Then you could do your drag test, making sure that your trailer and your tractor are holding brake. Then you could do your brake test, making sure that your tractor is holding and is not leaning side to side. You could go outside the vehicle after that. Ask the examiner to go outside the vehicle and check your 5x5s on the outside, and he give you the thumbs up. Then you could go outside the vehicle along with your examiner to check your lights. And when you check your lights, you say, my lights and my uh, my lights, my lenses, my reflectors and reflective tape the same way, properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, and fully no, is that properly illuminated and uh, no clear, no clean and illuminated, right? And you could say with the proper color of amber to the front and sides and red to the rear. Then you could check your clearances, your markers, your headlights, and your reflectors and reflective tape going all the way down the trailer. Don't forget your brake lights on the tractor while you're doing that, plus the mud flaps. You know what I'm saying? After you go around the whole truck doing that, you get to the front of the truck. Then you're gonna tell the inspector, after you lean down, my truck is not leaking any oil. Then you're gonna tell the inspector that my truck is not leaning in any direction. Make sure you do that, because if you don't, you're going to lose 5 points. Because if you don't do that, underneath the hood is a lot of things that could mess up that whole situation. Then, after you do that, you could go to your passenger side, and your general hoses are properly mounted and secured. No abrasions, bulges, or cuts, and are attached at both ends and is not leaking. You go to your driver's side. General hoses are attached at both ends and are properly mounted and secured, not leaking. Then you could go under your hood. Your coolant reservoir and power steering are properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, and filled to manufacturer's specifications and are not leaking. Then your oil is full to manufacturer's specifications and is not leaking, and you check it with a dipstick. Then you go to your shock mounts, shock absorbers, I should say. Properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, and is not leaking. Leaf spring, properly mounted and secured at both ends, not cracked, bent, or broken, and is not shifted. Your spring mounts is properly mounted, secured at both ends, and is not cracked, bent, or broken. Then you could go to your gearbox, properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, and is not leaking. Then you go to your pitman arm, your tie rod, and your is it pitman arm, tie rod, and drag link, right? Your pitman arm, drag link, tie rod. That's the is properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. Then something else is under there. Let's see. You go to your steer tire. Is properly mounted, secured, fit to manufacturer specifications, not crap bent or broken, and is the tire tread is 4/32 of an inch. You check it with a tire depth gauge, and you go to your valve stem. It's properly mounted, secured, not leaking. The cap is on tight. You go to your rim. It's properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, and there is no unauthorized wells or bolt holes out of round. And you could go to your bolts. It's properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, and none missing, and no cracks in the bolt holes. Then, am I missing anything underneath the hood? Let's see. Leaf spring, tie rod, lag link. Uh, oh yeah, castle nuts and cotter pins are properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, and there is none missing. And you go to your brake drum and line. It's properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, and there is this is clean, no contaminants, right? And I think that's it for under the hood. You could go to your battery box after that. It's properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, and it's not leaking, and it's uh, no corrosion, and the terminals is we gonna make a part two of this, but I'm gonna keep going and cut it now. Okay, battery box, properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, not leaking, and no corrosion. And there's something else with the battery box. It's the latches. Battery box is latched, and the connections are tight. Something like that. We're gonna go to the depth, the fuel tank, the depth, and the fuel. Properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, and not leaking any fluid from the lines to the tanks. Then we could go to the tractor frame. It's properly mounted and secured, not leak. No, properly mounted and secured. No unauthorized welds to the frame, and no holes in the frame, and no missing. What do you call them things again? We're gonna have to cut that.